a stark reminder that action breeds confidence while talk breeds hesitation, as Nelson Mandela's disciplined focus demonstrated. Discretion isn't about secrecy or aloofness. It's about preserving your focus, recognizing that your dreams are precious and not everyone deserves to trample through the soil before your seeds sprout, much like a gardener who protects the ground, waters it carefully, and waits for shoots to appear before inviting others to admire the harvest. By keeping your goals private, you give yourself space to grow, learn, and adapt without external pressure. And when you share your success, backed by real results, its impact is profound, a lesson Mandela lived as his actions inspired millions. So, the next time you set a goal, resist the urge to announce it. Channel your energy into action. Write it down, make a plan, and take that first step quietly, deliberately, with full focus, remembering that the goal isn't to impress others with intentions, but to impress yourself with accomplishments, moving in silence to free yourself from expectations and operate on your own terms, a path to true success that Nelson Mandela walked and one worth walking yourself. Success loves silence, a timeless truth Nelson Mandela championed, not because it cloaks itself in secrecy or mystery, but because it demands the tranquil space to take root and flourish, much like a seed nestled quietly beneath the soil, stretching towards sunlight without fanfare, announcement, or the clamor of external validation, steadily working in the stillness until it emerges tall, strong, and undeniable for all to witness, a testament to the power of disciplined focus and unwavering commitment to action over words. Yet, in our eagerness to share our dreams, so many of us feel an irresistible urge to broadcast our plans to the world, to declare what we're doing, what we're planning, and how we intend to achieve greatness, as if the act of speaking our goals aloud will somehow solidify their reality or propel us toward them faster. Why do we do this? Perhaps it's the human need for recognition, the craving for approval, or the fleeting thrill of proclaiming, "Look at me, I'm on my way," basking in the nods and smiles of those around us. But herein lies a subtle yet profound problem. The more we talk about our ambitions, the less energy we have to execute them, a paradox that Nelson Mandela understood deeply, recognizing that sharing too much can drain the very momentum needed to transform dreams into reality. In my years observing personal growth and achievement, I've seen this unfold countless times. Individuals brimming with grand ideas and noble aspirations, visions that could reshape their lives or impact the world, only to talk themselves out of their dreams by sharing them too soon, exposing their fragile plans to the cold winds of doubt, criticism, and distraction, watching the fire that once burned brightly within them flicker and fade before they've taken a single meaningful step. By announcing their intentions prematurely, they invite skepticism that lingers like a shadow, criticism that chips away at their confidence, and distractions that pull them from their path, until the dream that once felt vivid and full of possibility becomes a distant memory, lost in the cradle of good intentions. Today, I invite you to embrace Nelson Mandela's philosophy of keeping your plans close, not out of secrecy, but out of wisdom, cultivating a mindset that prioritizes action over words, focus over fanfare, and results over fleeting recognition. Because at the end of the day, it's not what you say you'll do that defines your legacy. It's what you actually accomplish. Keeping your plans private is a powerful act, rooted in the delicate interplay between intention and action. For every time you share your goals, your dreams, your carefully crafted plans with others, you release a fragment of the energy that fuels your progress, giving away a piece of the fire that drives you forward. A fire that is often best kept contained, stoked in the quiet sanctuary of your own mind, rather than exposed to the world before it's ready. When you declare, I'm starting a new business, or I'm going to lose 20 pounds, and those around you nod, smile, or clap in encouragement, it feels good, doesn't it? That rush of approval, that fleeting validation, it's intoxicating. But here's the danger Nelson Mandela warned us of. Your mind can mistake that approval for accomplishment, tricking you into feeling as though you've already achieved something when you haven't yet lifted a finger, tasting a sliver of the reward before the work is done, which diminishes the urgency to act, cools the fire of motivation, and lulls you into a state of comfort where the hard, gritty work of turning dreams into reality gets postponed day after day, until the dream feels like something you've already accomplished in your mind, leaving it to wither unrealized. This is how aspirations die, not from lack of vision, but from the subtle sabotage of premature sharing, a lesson Mandela's disciplined life exemplified as he quietly built his resolve to change the world. Some may argue that sharing plans fosters accountability, and there's truth to that, but only when done with the right people at the right time. For not everyone who hears your plans will understand or support them. Some will question your motives, doubt your abilities, or cast skepticism that hangs in the air, a shadow over your ambition that, if you're not careful, can creep into your own thinking, making you second-guess yourself, wondering if their doubts are valid, if your idea isn't as brilliant as you believed. Nelson Mandela taught us to share selectively, thoughtfully, protecting our vision in its early stages like a gardener shields young plants from frost, confiding only in mentors or close friends who genuinely want to see us succeed, and even then, keeping details minimal to preserve the sanctity of our focus, ensuring our ideas don't become a spectacle before they've had a chance to grow. There's also a certain magic in the element of surprise, a power in letting your results speak for themselves, as Nelson Mandela did when his actions reshaped history without the need for premature proclamations. Imagine working quietly on a project for months, perhaps years, sharing nothing outside a trusted circle, and then unveiling a finished product, a thriving business, a completed novel, a transformed life. The impact is far greater than if you'd been dropping hints or seeking validation along the way, as people marvel at your achievement because it emerged from silence, a reminder that action is always more compelling than words. Years ago, I knew a young man who dreamed of starting a business, his enthusiasm spilling over as he shared his plans at every opportunity, detailing what he would do, how successful he would be, how his life would change. But as months passed with no progress, the polite nods of his listeners turned to skepticism, and eventually, he stopped believing in himself, his dream dissolving under the weight of unfulfilled promises. Contrast this with a Midwestern farmer I once met, a man with a vision to transform his small family farm into a thriving enterprise, who, instead of announcing his plans, quietly got to work, reading books, studying successful farmers, and implementing new techniques, letting his results, a bountiful, high-quality harvest, shock his community, who asked in awe, "How did you do it?" To which he replied with a smile, "By working when no one was watching." Nelson Mandela's wisdom shines in this lesson. The less you talk, the more energy you have to act. The less you seek validation, the more confidence you build within. The less you share prematurely, the more control you have over your narrative. How often have you shared a goal only to feel your motivation slip away afterward, or let others' opinions sway your path? These questions reveal the power we surrender when we speak too soon. But the good news is, you can reclaim that power by choosing action, guarding your dreams, and letting your success speak for you. The world is noisy, filled with opinions, distractions, and unsolicited advice. And when you share your dreams too freely, you invite that noise into your life, opening the door to criticism, doubt, and even envy, forces that can derail even the best laid plans. When you share a big idea, how often do you receive genuine enthusiasm? Sometimes, but often, people respond with caution. Are you sure that's a good idea? Or skepticism? That sounds risky. Or tales of failure. I knew someone who tried that and failed. Comments that seem harmless but plant seeds of doubt that grow quickly, choking the roots of your ambition, a danger Nelson Mandela navigated by maintaining focus amidst adversity. Beyond doubters, there are the envious, whose subtle negativity drains your energy, and the well-meaning advisors, whose conflicting suggestions scatter your vision, pulling you from your original path until you're lost in uncertainty. Discretion, as Mandela practiced, is a shield, protecting your focus, creating a quiet space where your ideas can flourish, like a greenhouse nurturing dreams until they're strong enough to face the world. Momentum is precious. The forward motion built through consistent, purposeful action, and it thrives in silence, where each small step reinforces the next, creating a rhythm of progress that carries you far, but premature talk disrupts this rhythm, shifting your focus from doing to explaining, from action to justification. Every moment spent defending your plans, a moment you're not moving forward, like driving a car while constantly stopping to show others your destination, losing speed and purpose. Consider a friend of mine who decided to write a book, a lifelong dream he pursued in silence, setting a goal to write 500 words daily, telling no one, not even his closest friends, until months later, when he shared his manuscript with a trusted circle, their admiration not just for the work, but for his quiet dedication, a testament to the power of discretion. His published book a success because the work spoke for itself, unlike another friend who talked endlessly about writing, sharing outlines and seeking opinions, only to write less and less until the project fizzled, his energy spent on approval rather than action.